From Dream Season Central, this is Kurt Berglund with Payoff Pitch, Dream Season Sportspage number 10. Can you believe it? We have completed 10 games of the 18 games in the Payoff Pitch mini season, plus playoffs, that we are completing in this project. I have selected 26 of my favorite teams from the last 60 years, and Payoff Pitch has produced them, and we've set up a schedule, and we're rolling. So tonight, I will give you the scores, the highlights, and the standings of the Payoff Pitch Dream Season mini season, and bring you up to date as we head into the home stretch of our project. So let's get right down to particulars. First game to tell you about tonight was in the Bronx. The 1964 San Francisco Giants visited the 1977 New York Yankees. And the Yankees won 5-3. Home runs in the game: Willie Mays, a 2-run shot for the Yankees in the 8th inning. None for the Yankees. Willie Mays, a 2-run shot for the Giants in the 8th inning. And none for the Yankees. The winning pitcher in the game was Ron Guidry. The loser was Bob Hendley. And the save goes to Dick Tidrow. The Giants are now 3-7. The Yankees are up to 5-5. Yankees 5, Giants 3. In Minnesota, the 77 Twins hosted the 64 Yankees, and the 77 Twins were victorious, 5-2. Goltz over Downing. Home runs in the game, there were none. So the Twins beat the Yankees 5-2. The Twins are now 5-5. The Yankees are 4-6. 64 Yankees. In New York, at Shea Stadium, the 69 Mets behind Jerry Koosman blanked the 87 Cardinals 3-0. Koosman was the winner. John Tudor was the loser. Cleon Jones hit a solo home run for the Mets in the 5th inning. So the Cardinals dropped, the 87 Cardinals dropped to 4-6. And the 69 Mets are now 6-4. In Milwaukee, at Miller Park, the 87 Twins visited the 2018 Brewers, and the 2018 Brewers won 4-3. Almost broke their streak, but not quite. Junior Guerra gets the win, Bert Blyleven the loss, and Josh Hader the save. Home runs in the game: Tom Brunansky, a 3-run bomb in the 9th. For Minnesota. And for Milwaukee, Eric Thames, a 3-run shot in the 3rd, followed by Mike Moustakas with a solo shot. So home runs in this one accounted for all of the scoring. Brewers 4, Twins 3. Brewers are now 10-0. Twins dropped to 5-5. In Milwaukee at County Stadium, the 87 Brewers hosted the 83 Atlanta Braves. The 83 Braves were victorious, 5-2, over the 87 Brewers. No home runs in the game. Pascual Perez the winner, Bill Wegman the loser. Braves 5, Brewers 2. Braves improved to 7-3 on the season, and the 87 Brewers dropped to 5-5. In Philadelphia at the Vet, the 79 Brewers came a-calling, and the 83 Phillies hosted them. The 83 Phillies won the game 11-4. John Denny was the winner. Bob Galasso was the loser. Home runs in the game, there were 2, both for Philadelphia. Michael Jack Schmidt hit a 3-run bomb in the bottom of the 6th. And Bo Diaz hit a 3-run dong in the bottom of the 8th. Phillies 11, Brewers 4. Brewers dropped to 6-4 on the season. Phillies improved to 6-4 on the year. In Montreal, the 87 Tigers came visiting, and they were victorious. 2-1. Jeff Robinson, the winner. Mike Wegener, the loser. Mike Henneman, the save. The Tigers improved to 7-3. The Expos dropped to 3-7. Tigers beat the Expos 2-1. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, this was the game of the day, and of course, I didn't put it on the channel. The 1969 Washington Senators visited the 1984 Chicago Cubs, and the Cubs were victorious 9-7. The story of this game, well, actually, let's give you the particulars. Home runs in the game: Frank Howard, a 3-run bomb in the 9th for Washington. Ryan Sandberg, a 2-run homer in the 6th. And then Ryan Sandberg, a walk-off 2-run homer in the bottom of the 10th to win it for the Cubs. The Senators scored 7 runs in the 9th inning. They went into the 9th inning behind 6-0. They scored 7 runs in the 9th. The Cubs scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th on a 2-out Jody Davis double that scored pinch runner Davey Lopes from first base with the tying run. That sent it to extra innings. The Senators did not score in the 10th. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Thad Bosley pinch hit for Lee Smith and singled. Henry Cotto bunted Bosley to second base, and then Sandberg hit his second home run of the game. Sort of our own little payoff pitch dream season Sandberg game. The Cubs improved to 6-4. The 69 Senators dropped to 3-7. Smith, the winner. Higgins, the loser for Washington. Cubs win 9-7 in 10 innings. In Chicago at Comiskey Park, the Dodgers visited the White Sox. 77 Dodgers visited the 83 White Sox. And the White Sox, behind Richard Dotson, won 3-1. Dotson was the winner. Sutton was the loser. No home runs in the game. Dodgers just drop another close one. They are snake bit. Dodgers dropped to 1-9. The White Sox are now 7-3. In Milwaukee at County Stadium, the 69 Cubs visited the 83 Brewers, and the Cubs were victorious 4-2. Home runs in the game, only one. Jim Hickman, a solo blast for the Cubs in the 6th. Bill Hands was the winner. Mike Caldwell, the loser. And Hands went the distance for Chicago. The Cubs improved to 7-3. 69 Cubs are now 7-3, and the Brewers dropped to 3-7. In Boston at Fenway Park, the 64 Cardinals visited the 77 Red Sox, and the 77 Red Sox, in a back-and-forth affair, emerged victorious 8-5 over the Cardinals. Home runs in the game: Ken Boyer, a solo shot in the 3rd for St. Louis. Carl Yastrzemski, a 2-run homer in the 1st for Boston, and Carl Yastrzemski, a 2-run homer in the 5th for Boston. Ferguson Jenkins was the winner for the Beantowners. Kurt Simmons took the loss. Bill Campbell the save. The Cardinals dropped to 3-7, and the Red Sox are sneaking up. This team is dangerous. They are now 5-5 and on the fringe of the playoff picture in the American League. More on that in just a moment. In Detroit, the 77 White Sox visited the 69 Tigers, and the 69 Tigers pulled it out in the bottom of the 8th with 4 runs to win, 4-3. Don McMahon, the winner, Dave Hamilton, the loser, and John Hiller, the save. Home runs in the game: Lamar Johnson for the White Sox, a solo shot in the 7th, and Mickey Stanley, a 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 8th for Detroit. Tigers over White Sox 4-3. In Chicago at Wrigley Field, the 64 Phillies visited the 79 Cubs and won 12-2. The highlight was a 7-run fourth inning for Philadelphia. Home runs in the game: Wes Covington, a 2-run shot in the first, Richie Allen, a solo shot in the seventh. The Cubs committed 4 errors on the game. Chris Short was the winner, Lynn McLaughlin the loser. The Phillies improved to 5-5. The Cubs dropped to 1-9. Phillies beat the Cubs 12-2. All right. We are up to the point now where we look at the standings, so let's do that. We've played 10 of the 18 games in the Payoff Pitch Dream season, and you can cut the tension with a knife. That's right. You can cut it with a knife. In the American League, first place belongs to the 69 Tigers at 8-2. Second place, 1 game back, the 83 White Sox and the 87 Tigers are 7-3. In third place, all alone, it's the 79 Brewers at 6-4. In fourth place, there are 5 teams fighting for the 5th and final playoff spot, if the playoffs were to begin tomorrow, which they're not. The 77 Red Sox, the 77 Yankees, the 87 Twins, the 77 Twins, and the 87 Brewers are all tied at 5-5, 3 games back, with 8 games to play. If the playoffs started, tomorrow, only one of these 5 teams would make it. The top 4 are in. The top 5, the 5th team is the second and final wild card team to get in. In 5th place, it's the 64 Yankees and the 77 White Sox tied at 4-6, only a game out of the playoff picture, and 2 games out of the playoff picture at 3-7 and 5 games off the lead. It's the 83 Brewers and the 69 Senators. So really, with 8 games to play, we can get a lot of shifting going on here. But it's very interesting that in the middle, we've almost got a bell curve, don't we? In the middle, we've got a cluster of 5 teams at 5-5. So that's what the American League looks like. Let's look at the National League. Interesting in a very different way, the National League is led by the 2018 Brewers at 10-0. They have a 3-game bulge on the 83 Braves and the 69 Cubs, who both have fine records at 7-3, playing .700 baseball, and they're 3 games off the pace. The 69 Mets, the 83 Phillies, and the 84 Cubs are tied for second place, and they are at 6-4. The top 5 teams come from this batch of 6 so far, but the 64 Phillies are only a game out of the playoff picture at 5-5, 5 games off the pace. Then come the 87 Cardinals, who are 2 games out of the playoff picture at 4-6, and then it gets a little tougher. The 64 Cardinals and the 69 Expos and the 64 Giants have not played well. They are at 3-7, each of them, and 7 games off the pace, 3 games out of the playoff picture, and the 79 Cubs and the 77 Dodgers bring up the rear at 1-9, 9 games back. So, whereas the American League is very muddled and clustered, the National League is starting to create, it looks like, some separation between the top and the bottom. We'll see if that holds in the next few games. Thank you so much for joining me for the Game 10 Sports Page for the Payoff Pitch Dream season. My name's Kurt Berglund. Please click like and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with all the Payoff Pitch Dream season action. We continue the Dream season tomorrow with Game 11, with the Atlanta Braves visiting the 1987 Milwaukee Brewers. Should be a good one. Thank you again. I hope you have a good night, and I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And hopefully, my channel is providing you some much-needed mental relief from the stresses of 2020. Thank you again. So long, everybody.